In our last look at the self, we saw how constant comparison erodes your identity until you forget who you actually are. But even when you stop comparing, even when you win and secure the prize you spent years chasing, the feeling of completion is notoriously hollow. We are left with a frustrating paradox. Why is the psychological sensation of enough always temporary? We see it in the decay of a new purchase, or a promotion that feels normal after just 48 hours. The social media validation that felt like a rush this morning is a boring statistic by tonight. We keep searching for a sense of completion in things that are, by nature, temporary. Lasting satisfaction cannot be found within external objects, because those objects have no capacity to sustain an internal state. Ancient thinkers looked at this cycle and reached a hard conclusion. They identified desire itself as the root of the distress, rather than the lack of the thing being desired. They compared desire to a fire. It is an engine that actively expands the more fuel it is given. Desire operates on a deceptive promise, the idea that reaching one specific milestone or acquiring one specific item will finally allow the mind to rest. But the brain is wired for the chase. The moment you achieve a goal, your internal mechanics immediately generate a new, more difficult target to replace it. What we often call a drive for success is actually a closed behavioral loop. It is a system designed to ensure you are never truly satisfied with what you have. If this loop is so painful, we have to ask, who is actually running it? Because it clearly isn't serving you. The hidden architect behind this relentless hunger is the ego. The ego is an intangible sense of self that fears it isn't real. To compensate, it tries to give itself weight and substance through the accumulation of physical things and social status. Because it is an illusion, it can never be filled. It survives through a single, unyielding demand. It requires more just to maintain its existence. This makes satisfying the ego a mechanical impossibility. Its entire structure relies on maintaining a permanent state of lack. If it ever felt enough, the ego would cease to exist. Ancient philosophy suggests we are born with a mismatch of scales. While our bodies and bank accounts have clear physical boundaries, our internal awareness, the you that observes and wants, has no inherent limit. It is effectively boundless. We spend our lives trying to satisfy that boundless internal space using worldly achievements and objects, which are all, by definition, finite and limited. Imagine your consciousness as a boundless void. Drop a finite object, a car, a title, into that space, and it remains microscopic. You can pile up thousands of achievements, but against a boundless void, the pile will never be big enough to make a difference. Your chronic feeling of emptiness isn't a personal failure. It is a mathematical certainty that occurs when you try to fill an infinite vessel with finite inputs. Once you understand this math, you can stop hating the feeling of emptiness. That pain is actually a functional alarm system. The alarm is telling you that your energy is pointed in the wrong direction. You are looking for completion in the outside world, when the void is actually on the inside. You can override the loop by changing your relationship to desire. Instead of rushing to fulfill a craving, you simply observe the craving as it rises and falls, without acting on it. When you observe instead of participating, the mental noise starts to fade. The internal engine slows down, and for the first time, the pressure of not having enough disappears. You realize that nothing outside of you can complete you, not because you're broken, but because the internal self was never missing any pieces to begin with. This is the reason high achievers often feel the most unsettled at the peak of their careers. They have reached the top only to find the void is still there. A new environment can give you a better view, but it doesn't change the mind that is doing the looking. Success only alters your situation. It doesn't alter your consciousness. This brings us to a deeper problem. Even when we are safe, secure, and surrounded by abundance, our minds seem to inherently reject the feeling of safety. Until we understand that internal mechanism, every new success will only create a more sophisticated form of anxiety. In our next video, we'll look at why the mind never feels safe, even when it has everything.